have something in the back of their head, this wise voice that tells them, wait a second, maybe there might be another way to think about this. Maybe if I ask someone or I talk to someone about how I'm feeling, maybe there might be another way or another solution.
I think when you choose a different path from suicide, it means you're the better, bigger person. Trust me, when you choose life, you win. You'll always beat the monster that you're fighting when you choose life. When I was 13, I had someone that I highly looked up to tell me horrible things. And that affected me growing up. It changed my perspective on myself. It changed my perspective on everybody that I was surrounded with. And so whenever I talk about it with therapists, it was at that point I realized this is where it all stemmed from. When I was 13, and someone that I looked up to told me, "You're worthless. You will never amount to anything, and you're stupid, and you're a black sheep."
In middle school, it was just a bad time for me. I started failing classes. I never did that. I was almost straight A student before. The grades dropped. I was lashing out at my parents. I was trying to hang out with the right kind of friends, which were actually the wrong ones. And it just got into a bad crowd.
Sometimes youth sometimes they don't have words for how to even talk about the problem. Sometimes they don't even know why they're feeling that way. And they sort of come to this place of just feeling sad, and they don't know what else to do about it.
Justine and I were really close growing up. She was younger than me, but we always tell each other stories about how she was the one always beating me up, and I would just sit there and take it and cry. So we were really close, and we got a call. And the call was, Justine's in the hospital. Justine's gone. And I went numb until they took us in to see her, and I wanted to scream. I wanted to bring her back. I would have given anything. This is my little sister, basically, and she's gone. And nothing's gonna change that. And so, after losing her, I fell into a really deep depression.
I think for the clients that I see, they come in with a lot of pain and suffering, and they're really just looking to end that suffering, and they don't necessarily know how to deal with it or how to solve their problem. And it doesn't necessarily mean that they've got an illness or they've got depression. It's this place of feeling hopeless and stuck about something, and I think that's probably the across the board, the issue deep down inside.
I lived like that for a long time, and everything hurt. Something inside said, you should be scared out of your mind thinking about that. You shouldn't have any concept of you dying. You should be terrified at the thought of taking your own life. Why doesn't this scare you? And the fact that I knew that and it didn't scare me, it's like it woke me up for a second.
People always have something in the back of their head, this wise voice that tells them, wait a second, maybe there might be another way to think about this. Maybe this is not the only answer. That maybe if I ask someone or I talk to someone about how I'm feeling, where I'm at, or how I'm thinking about things, maybe there might be another way or another solution.
Art has always been my escape. It was either writing that got me through it, or photography, which is my job now. Going out and taking photos of people always makes me forget the things that I'm thinking about. It helps me forget the depression that I'm living with. It helps me escape. And I've been so much happier just focusing on what I'm passionate about. With Stray, it was more of, I guess, an autobiography. I was thinking of what to write about for the EOGF Film Festival. Why don't I write something that I know personally, something I want to showcase? And a film festival, to me, means that you're showcasing something you want to talk about. And depression has always been something I want to talk about because I've been through it and I'm still going through it. And so Stray stems from that, the experiences I've had where I would just wake up and I don't want to do anything. Or the fact that I would have to put on a face in front of everybody and fake it and just be like, I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm not going through anything terrible. And so with Stray, it was an everyday thing. Like, this is the glimpse of life that I go through. My best friend, who I'm still friends with, has helped me cope with it. She knows when I just shut down. She knows when that would happen. It helps. And she would just give me a call and she would try to make me laugh. I have a boyfriend who knows that I'm going through depression, and when I hold his hand in the crowd, he knows that I'm going through something where I don't want to be in this space, but please hold my hand. So, these people around me in my life has helped me so much get better every single day. No matter how small and slow I go, it's just their support has pushed me to just not think about ending my life.
I just tried to escape through music, through activities, hanging out with family, friends, people who are positive factors in my life. And I idolize a lot of my family members, so I felt like to be a better person for them. So I need to cope for them because I realized that if I end my life, I'm going to affect theirs in a negative way, and that's something I really didn't want. So now I work for NFMLIC. I'm the lead Young University Mediator. So that just means I kind of supervise and manage our YUM program. And so what we do is go out to schools, various schools around Guam, and teach peer mediation. We teach conflict resolution, we teach suicide prevention.
Over time, I ended up going to therapy because I knew I needed it. I couldn't, how could I not if I was feeling this way? And clearly this was more than just grieving, So I started to come to therapy. I had a wonderful counselor who was helping me deal with just the overwhelmingness of everything. I didn't know how to be sad, and it was something I had to learn. I had to be sad about losing her. I had to be sad about a lot of things.
Youth really want to share what they're going through. They really want to feel like other people care about them, that they're loved, that they're accepted, and that they get approval from their caregivers, from their parents, from their teachers, and so given that they hold this, that they want people to care about them, then it makes it even more important that their support system around them reach out to them and talk to them and ask them. If they hear that someone they know is thinking about suicide or even writing about suicide or writing about death, to just reach out and ask them about it. And it's sometimes really uncomfortable to talk about suicide, but nobody ever became more suicidal just by other people caring about them.
there are a variety of different kinds of help that we have on island that nobody really knows. And for me, it was here at the university. I got told about ISA, Psychological Services, and one of the best things that anybody ever did for me was to literally walk me to this door, because I couldn't do it by myself. And just having that reassurance there that, one, you are not crazy, and saying that you need help doesn't mean that you're crazy. Saying you're depressed doesn't mean you're crazy. It just means that you're hurting. And sometimes you hurt so much that you need a little extra push. You need a little extra helping hand, and that's okay. And the best things for friends and family to do is to acknowledge that, yes, you are feeling this way, and I will be there with you every step of your journey.
One of the biggest things that I say a lot is that suicide is a permanent solution to problems that are only temporary. And that talking to somebody about your problem or your issue may provide you a different way to look at the problem. It may provide you the time and the space to come up with a solution to your problem.
So I think one of my biggest drives is to reach out to people to tell them it's real. It's a real problem that we face here on Guam, especially when we look at the rates, we look at the statistics, we see that it's pretty high for such a small population. My drive to help people now really stems from the fact that I don't want anyone to feel the way I did before. And that's kind of what drives me to do what I do today.
Like you and a bunch of friends who know the person, and just talk about all the good times that you guys shared with each other, I mean, it may be hard at first, because those happy memories can hurt, because the person is gone, but it's still happy. You guys are still remembering all the good times and everything, and the more you talk about it, the more it will make you feel better about yourself.
I always say, talk to somebody about it, Talk to a family member, talk to a teacher, talk to your friends. They'll help you. If they're not going to help you, then try to find someone who will listen to you no matter what. It doesn't matter who they are, as long as they'll listen and you can open up to them. It's better to open up to someone than to keep it inside and bottled up, and then you just become lost.
Or if you notice someone going through depression who looks a bit melancholy or lethargic, just pulling them aside, saying, hey, I'm here, if anything. Don't ever be afraid. It helps too. You're telling them directly, I'm here for you whenever you need me, just give me a call. So, small things. Just hugging them, putting your hand on their shoulder, just talking to them helps.
Thoughts of suicide aren't permanent. You're not going to have them forever. And it's going to get better. If there's one thing I've learned from Assist, Safe Talks, helping kids out, teaching in schools, it's that everything gets better with time.
I guess I want those people to know that you're not alone in feeling that. Help is never that far away. I can't imagine a world where we lose another one. And we all have that inner strength, that innate thing within us that says, I want this to be better. There has to be something better, and there is. One day you'll catch yourself laughing and it won't be tainted by any sadness, and that is probably the best feeling in the world. To realize that you've come out of that tornado and that you're okay and that you can survive anything.
It gets better. It does. And it might take a year, it might take a decade, but giving up and quitting life is the worst thing you can choose. I think when you choose a different path from suicide, it means you're the better, bigger person. It may not look anything like, oh, I didn't do it. I still feel like a failure, but trust me, when you choose life, you win. You'll always beat the monster that you're fighting when you choose life.
Here on Guam, there's some things we all can be sure of. There will always be a sunset, there will always be a sunrise, but the most important thing is there will always be a tomorrow.